Welcome back to the channeling session. Divine Masculine wants to know when will the real meeting with the DF happen. And actually, he is calling the DF his favorite person in this channeling. That word, the favorite person to his heart, the closest to his heart. This is part 4, and I welcome you to it with a lot of love, and I intend that you receive the most from these part series, and I will continue from where I had ended the part 3. So at the end of part 3, I had shared that the final lines were that who am I and what is my story and why am I here on this planet? Why am I living this life? This is a question that the Divine Masculine asks from the Divine Feminine essence while he's missing her and thinking about her, and also thinking that when will I genuinely completely be complete in my love feelings for her without any doubts or without this temporary coming and going and this on and off. And as I said, that it doesn't matter what is your communication. You could be in no contact situation or you could be talking to one another, but there's a feeling, and this is specifically for those DFs and DMs where there's a feeling, constant feeling which comes and goes, that we are still not together. And since I have already explained to you all that it is not necessary that you are in no contact or you are living under the same roof, if there is a feeling of incompletion, if there is a feeling that something is not there, if there's a feeling that of separation, most importantly, then this channeling is for you, because the Divine Masculine and the Feminines, both, to one another, towards one another, they have really pure love for one another, but they are still struggling, and they won't struggle forever, but they need to understand the reason behind this struggle. So the next few lines that he says to her, so first I will speak about his energy and then I will speak about her energy. So he says that to be with you, to be in union with you, I have been roaming around like a fakir. That's why I said this word fakir. There are synonyms for this word. There is fakir, there is jogi, and women use the word jogan in Hindi, okay? In Hindi and in Urdu both. So fakir is a Urdu word and jogi is a Hindi word, but they mean the same thing. So he's saying that I'm, constantly roaming here and there in this form just to find you, just to search for you, just to not even find you, not search you, sorry, just to get into union with you, complete proper union. And now there is a progression from part 3 to part 4. The progression in part 3 is, at first he was saying that, is it possible that I am searching for you, though I am searching for your essence, for your energy in different places, everywhere. But is it possible that you're living in my heart and I'm looking elsewhere? But here he says, he's confirmed that, yeah, she does live in my heart. So he says that you live in my heart, though you live in my heart, all right, though you live in my heart, but why don't you appear in front of me? And he's saying that my eyes are thirsty, like how you feel thirsty for drinking water. Similarly, my eyes are thirsty, my eyes are desperate to have a glimpse of you, to have a feel of you, to look at you in front of myself. And as I said again, even if you're living together, or even if you are in on and off situation, or even if you are talking to each other, but this appearance is not about physical appearance, because obviously some of them are even stalking the Divine Feminines who are in no contact situation. So it's not like they don't see her face. It means that essence of love. When you're in front of me, but I know that you love me and you know that you love me, that feeling that yes, we are on the same page on this particular topic, when will that happen? My eyes are waiting to see that love in your eyes for me, or even that completion that yes, we are for one another, we have each other. So come to me, my love, come to me, come close to me. Don't run away from me. Don't run away from me. Don't go away from, don't hide from me. I'm looking around for you. I'm looking for you, my love. I'm looking for you, my beloved. You're the only one I want. You may be having other options. You may be talking to other people. But I'm not. I have only you in my mind. Now, it can be seen as a bit ironical also for some of you who must be thinking that, oh, yeah, sure, you're the one who's in a relationship with some karmic partner, or you're the one who ran away from me, then why do you say this? So, the explanation, what I've been given here for this energy is that, again, like I said, it's not about him seeing you in front of you physically. You know, you could be going for a date, you could be talking to each other over the phone, but he still feels like, I don't have her completely with me. Something is missing, something is not there. Now, this also applies to those who, as I said, are with a karmic partner and they are not able to turn it around. The masculines are struggling a lot to turn it around. They are thinking that I made such a big mistake. So they could be in contact with the divine feminine. They may have made that courage to even tell her that, look, you're the one I wanted, but since things did not work out between you and me, I just decided to do this. I decided to go ahead. And after going ahead, immediately after going ahead, say 6 months into it, or 7 months into it, or 1 year into it, 2 years into it, I realized that I made a very big mistake. I should not have done it. I should have been patient. I should have waited. Or I should have tried to work things out. Or I should not even have given up the hope of love between us. Because most of them actually gave up the hope that there can be any possibility. In the sense that, when they were fighting a lot, or when they were having a lot of arguments. So there are different cases, and that's why I'm trying to pick all the cases. I'm trying to touch wherever this energy has reached. It could be one thing for you, one thing for another person, one thing for another person. But like I said, the essence is same, the energy is same. So, like, coming back to this one, the divine masculine is really regretting that he should have, tried to work things out. There's one more example that's coming to me, that in some cases, the divine masculine is now feeling that he did not pursue the divine feminine enough, as much as he should have, he could have. Maybe he had an ego issue, or maybe he was too shy, or maybe he just feared that she's going to downright reject me and say that, hey, you get lost, I'm not even that interested in you. He just picked up some cues from her, just a couple of things from her, like maybe they were at a party and she wasn't paying much attention to him. I'm also getting a scenario where he just probably wanted to spend more time with her, but she was in a hurry, or situation played out in such a way, and he didn't persuade it enough. He didn't go like, no, stay here. Like some guys who are very sure, they don't mind saying these things like, hey, come on, you're not going home, or you're not going to your friends, you're just coming and talking to me, come and spend time with me. So he lacked that type of right over her. When you feel that, okay, someone really loves me, or I love that person, so you very carefree, in a very carefree zone, you go and say, yeah, I have the right to expect this from her. So he lacked that. He was a bit too scared, or he was a bit too conscious about his image, or something like that. This has to do a lot with ego. But in some cases, people's ego is not in the face. It's very much like, oh, what is she gonna say in front of other people? What if she turns me down? Or if, say, not in front of other people, what if she says no? That would be so embarrassing. So now he's really regretting that I had all the time in the world. I had all the, I could have just picked up the phone, or I could have just, gone to her, or just, like, even if she would have said, no, I don't have time, I don't want to do this, maybe later, I could have, convinced her a bit. That little bit of convincing, why didn't I do that? When you go like, no, you have to meet me, come on, I don't have, time later on, I have to see you today. Or, it's like, I really want to see you, don't say no to me. Okay, no problem, you don't want to get ready, you don't want to get dressed, you don't want to go anywhere, I'll just come to pick you up. We'll go for a drive, we'll do something simple. We'll just go to a coffee shop. He didn't have that right on her, he felt. And now he's completely regretting that. So it's not necessary that in all the cases there were only fights. There could be silent sort of reservation. There could be silent fear. So even though he had so much love for her, so much attraction towards her, so much, admiration towards her, that even if like he was a supermodel and he was hanging around with a lot of supermodels, and she was this really cute, bubbly girl, not as tall as all the others, and he would still be like completely drawn to her. Not that, it's something wrong to be short or something wrong to be tall. I'm just saying that, everybody, or this can also come to status, is what I've been told, like status. For example, the guy is very rich. So he has all these rich friends who have fancy cars and who only go in very high-end restaurants. And there she is, a middle-class girl or a simple, very simple girl. And she obviously doesn't think in the same way that they think. And for all these super rich people or people with high status, they don't even understand that there could be a third world problem, like, maybe she's broke and that's why she doesn't want to go out. Or maybe she's too shy to hang out with people in such fancy places, or maybe it's just not her cup of tea. Maybe she went out 2-3 times to some fancy place and then she was very awkward and she was like, no, I don't want to do this. I'd rather just wear my shorts and my basic t-shirt and just, hang out, in the block, or just somewhere nearby my house, or just hang out on the streets. So she has not been raised in that way, so there's some kind of gap because of status, gap because of lifestyle change, or there is a different thing that has been shown to me. If it's nothing to do with money, then it's got to do something with ethnicity. He's from a completely different ethnicity and she is a completely different person. So there is this huge kind of awkwardness between them because they come from different worlds. But they both love each other a lot. They're very mesmerized by each other. They're very charmed by each other. But they don't have the guts, or they don't have that right over one another. They don't know how to go about it. So everything that happens between them, which goes wrong in some way or the other, is because of the lack of that understanding, or lack of... There's a lack of the bridging. The bridge is not there. The bridge between them. There is some kind of fear. Not some. It's like a huge, big fear. But because of that fear and because of that lack of the bridge, he got involved with someone else, which he's completely regretting now. And now, after all this while, he's thinking that, oh, come on, that was not such a big deal. Why did I make it such a big deal? Oh, God. So now he's trying to talk to her and he's trying to tell her that, I want to be with you, or I want to meet you. I want to spend time with you. Can I please do it? Can I come to see you? And now when she's saying no to him, it's because of a completely different reason. It's because he's with someone else. And I know divine feminines really well. They don't want to act like the karmics. They did not do it in the past. They did not do it ever. So now there's no chance that they'll do it now. So she's saying to him that, look, you're already with someone, or you already made a decision. For example, he moved to another country and now he's stuck over there because of a work contract or because of something. So he's like, can you come and be with me? So now she's saying that, look, it was your decision to do whatever you did. Now it's my decision to live the way I'm living. I also have my commitments and I am probably, doing something here. Maybe I have a mission. Now, even though she doesn't clearly want to tell him that this is my mission on earth, because that's also an awkward area between them, because one of them is very spiritual already due to the separation phase, due to the differences, and for some people due to the fight, due to the judgment, because there was some judgment, she felt the judgment. So now she's like, I don't want to tell him that I am a volunteer on planet earth. I really need someone very spiritually mature and someone who thinks on the same line to understand that I'm doing this, that this is my lifestyle. And he has judged me in the past, even for the gifts I had. So she's very adamant, like, no, now I'm not going to do anything for you because I did it in the past. I was ready to cross, 7 oceans for you, 7 seas for you. But now I don't want to do that. I am pretty much okay with my lifestyle. And this is what I find happiness in, and this is what I find joy in. And still, this does not mean that I don't like you, I don't love you, I don't have fondness for you. Because imagine, she did wait for him for so long, and all of the inner work she's doing, it is because of the separation with him, because she was like just not ready to understand why he left her, or why he ran away, or why she has such deep, intense feelings for him. Because of that, to explore the truth, she got deeper and deeper and deeper into her mission, deeper and deeper connection with the source. And then she realized that, oh my God, there's so much joy here, there's so much peace here, I feel so content now. I've never felt this level of contentment in all this time. And that time could be 10 years for someone, 14 years for someone, 12 years for someone, 5 years for someone, and even 1 year for someone. And she's like, 1 year back, I was this miserable, depressed person, doing all sorts of things just to, meeting different guys or talking to different people on the phone or trying to get someone's attention to feel good about myself. And look at me, things have completely turned around because I worked on myself every single day. And I was like, no, saying no to all the things that didn't resonate with me, and saying yes to all the things that did resonate with me. So it could be 20 years also, that 20 years she has suffered so much, and now she goes like, I don't care about these things. So now he's feeling that I wish I had pursued her, because back then she was not like this. There was this gap has, increased between us now, and it has increased because of me. He is thinking like that, and he's thinking that, back then we were hanging out, we were spending more time, I could see all the love in her eyes. She was, we were together, we were holding hands, and now I don't know what to do. I don't know how to bring her back to me. So he is constantly questioning the universe, he's constantly questioning God. And now these statements, like, you live in my heart, though you live in my heart, but I don't see that love in your eyes. It could be though you live in the same house with me, or it could be though you're talking to me every day on messages and phone calls, and though you are like, though you are at least there with me, because there's, for some people, there's no contact. No contact has been, the barrier has been removed. And even for those who have no contact situation, he is also thinking the same thing, by the way. That's why I said this energy essence is everywhere. He's also thinking that, oh my God, like 4 years back, 3 years back, we were together. I could message her. I only blocked her, then I deleted her number. Now I don't have a number. I have to look at her on Instagram, on Facebook, and all these places. And it is so difficult to get to talk to her. And now he's reminiscing all those times when it was so easy to pick up the phone and tell her that, hey, I love you, I miss you, I'm yours, come and meet me, please. And he's thinking that, she used to come to meet me out of her way, and I would make some, excuse, or I would run away from my friends, or I would want to do something else. So now it's becoming a huge baggage on his chest, like, what the hell did I do? From her side, it's more like, obviously she had, put in so much energy towards the union with the DM at one time that, and when it did not work out according to, in the style that she was doing it, she had to reinvent herself, and she became a completely new person. And obviously he is He's not in love with the person that she was in the past, 4 years back, 2 years back, 1 year back, 10 year back. He is in love with the person, the new person, the reborn person, and the person she's now become now, that person is not chasing him at all. That person is not even going crazy for his messages or for his phone call or whatever he's doing. So she's a new person. He's fallen in love with a new person. It is the same person, but the energy has got upgraded, And she realized, and now she can see it, for a lot of you can see it. Because I keep seeing your messages, I keep reading your comments. Some of you have been writing to me that, my DM contacted me today, or he's coming to meet me. Some of you have been telling me all of your things. But at the same time, you told me that no, now I'm not that interested in him. And not in a negative way. It's just like there is still some doubt in you. But what has happened is, and that doubt is basically because of the way he acted in the past. So there is still some element of you in your DNA, in your system, where you're still not able to fully trust. But what has happened on the contrary, is that you have found a very deep sense of relief, very deep sense of contentment, and a deep sense of love towards the source. And you suddenly, you realized, so for some of you it's sudden, those who are new in this, for those who have been practicing this surrendering stage for some time now, you're now realizing that, oh God, it is so much better to surrender. Like when I'm on the other side of surrendering, I feel so much love for my own self. There is respect for my own self, and things are happening on its own. The money part is solved. The relationships are mended. I feel so healed, and I'm so enthusiastic about my mission work. And I'm getting all the power and all the energy for the same things that I could not pull off 5 years back, 6 years back, 4 years back, now, like 1 year ago also. Same things I was doing and I was so upset about it. Now the same thing I'm able to do with ease because I changed my mental thoughts, because I changed who I was. I completely changed. I reinvented myself. She can see that. And this reinvention and this process has actually given her a new level of confidence. And yet, because she knows that all of this has come from the source integration, everything has been given to her like that. Or maybe, things like, she joined therapy and she realized that when she got into therapy or when she got into this coaching, healing, she became a better person. Every day something new was happening. She could see the things from a different perspective. So she no longer feels alone. Some of them have started feeling, very empowered. So they are like, yeah, this DM thing, the way this romance goes on planet Earth, it's very, it's in a flux. You can't trust it. It's like one day it's like this, the second day it's like that. So how long am I going to do this? It's so tiring. It's so frustrating at times. I don't want to do this. She's very bored of it. And I can feel that energy, like when I'm doing this channeling, she's like, I'm done with this running after him, trying to convince him, missing him, thinking about him every day, all the stalking phase. It's really, some of you are actually thinking, what I'm receiving is that you are very guilty about even stalking him. Like, why was I stalking him? Why was I calling him so much? Oh my God, why did I write such long messages, such long mails? I called him like 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, and he didn't even pick up my phone. Or even if he picked up, he was like, yeah, I'm busy. Can I call you back in 2 hours? And then he never called. Or his message was like, just a one-word message after I wrote such a long story. And then when I didn't call him for 10 days, 20 days, a month, he never got back to me. So now he's getting back to me, after such a long time has passed, and he's actually talking as if all this gap never happened. He's talking. So yes, this is also one more thing that has been given to me in the energy update, is that because the divine masculine, he is basically feeling that all the time in between time where they were not together, he's not even considering it. The karmic is not even important for him. That's why he's not giving explanation to her. So when she says, yeah, so you chose to, move to another city, you took up a new job, or you got married to someone, or you got engaged to someone, even though you said you love me and you were feeling this way, but you made that choice now, so why are you even talking to me like in this way now? How does it matter? But he is not considering that time gap. For him, it was the way she learned with the help of source integration. He learned from those things that he did. So he's thinking like, he's not even explaining it. He's not even justifying it. He will justify later on, but at this point in time, he's too much focused on, I did these things and I should not have done it, or I had so much time in my hand. I wasted that time, doing other things, trying to run, trying to escape. So this is where this channeling ends actually, because this is the ending part, the takeaway of this channeling, that she is actually talking to the source in the way that I know you live in my heart. You are the one. But my eyes are thirsty for your sight, to see you, to have you in front of me. She's still not able to understand that the source lives in her forever. She's the one who moved away to other things. The source never went anywhere. For the DM, it was like, going to bed, going to sleep, and waking up after 4 years. But that's not what happened with Divine Feminine. Now, she's thinking that this is what he's doing to her. But he also had his share of lessons. If he would not have indulged in those jobs or the other moving out to other cities or a partner or something else, or just listening to the family and just hanging out with them, in their parties with their relatives, doing all the things they wanted him to do. And he thought, yeah, it will be all fine. It will all work out well. I'll forget all about her. So he's like literally waking up after reset button has been pressed. So at the end of this channeling, all I would say is that both of them have actually reached to a point where they can feel for him that she is in his heart, but he's unable to see that love. And for her, the source is in her heart already, but she's looking for like some kind of a validation that if this is going to happen in my life, then it means that source is definitely there. Something like that, For those of you who are going through this phase, you would know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are not, you would definitely go through this phase. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And this type of awkwardness, that awkwardness is what needs to be released now. And let me tell you one more thing, that if you are not investing in the twin flame journey, it's not even the twin flame journey. If you actually look at it, it's your own personal empowerment. Be it investing time. For some of you, it could be investing time, could be investing money. It could be investing effort, most importantly, which you're not able to do. So if you're not doing all of these things and you cannot see a change, that's because you are not putting your efforts, you're not putting your time, you're not putting your money, you're not completely leaving aside everything. So while you're doing your chores, while you're doing your work, while you're doing the things that you're doing, you have to still awaken this energy fully. Even if 0.1% is left, even if half is left, even if 20% is left of 30, 40, but the most important thing is to surrender. So on that note, I'm going to end this channeling. This complete channeling is over now. It was, again, I'm really thankful to the universe because it really helped me also in many ways. So yeah, I will see you soon in other channelings and other messages and other videos and other information sessions. And I would soon be starting live videos also, live readings, live channelings, live Q&As. A lot of things are in the pipeline that will all happen. So till then, one love and peace out.